Hello, my name is Allie, and welcome to Funny Fat Friend, a podcast about this bodacious biracial babe trying to find herself in film. Here's an update. We have been protesting here in Louisville for 176 days for justice. Again, you'll find the link to the wish list of supplies we need here for protesters. Give to the Louisville Bail Fund if you can. And that runoff is happening in Georgia in January, and it's extremely important. So please sign up to volunteer if you can. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll link again. Fair fight in the description. Woo! Alright. It's Harry Potter time. We're talking about Harry Potter again. We're gonna do this. Is this number 3? Oh, bless. It is number 3. So 5 more after this. Aww. We're making it. We're almost halfway there. Okay. Today's the day. The Prisoner of Azkaban. This is my favorite one. I already know this is my favorite one because this is the only one we had on DVD when I was growing up. I liked it so much that my grandparents got it for me. And we didn't have any of the other ones, I don't think. Oh, wait, no. I think actually we had Sorcerer's Stone on VHS, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then we had Azkaban on DVD, and that was it. We were done after that. We were like, all right, we're good. This is our Harry Potter content for the house. But yeah, this one is my favorite. It's a lot of people's favorite film. It is not a lot of people's favorite book. I have talked to a lot of people. A lot of people have talked to me about Harry Potter now. And it is not everyone's favorite book. But, you know, that's the beauty of art. Things can be better in different forms. Bless up. Okay, so Prisoner of Azkaban. It came out in 2004. It had a budget of $130 million. It made $796.7 million, making it the lowest grossing Harry Potter film. Fuck. Isn't that weird? That's weird, because it's so many people's favorite. But they were like, eh. I guess it makes sense, actually. After watching Chamber of Secrets, I would have been on the fence about going back. And a lot of people don't like the book, this book. So it does actually add up now that I'm using a little bit of logic. It's wild when that happens. It is the second lowest grossing film of the Wizarding World series. So that's Harry Potter plus Fantastic Beasts. The lowest is Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, which I'm not going to do those. Fuck off if you think that I was gonna. I'm not. I love myself. Like, if you haven't been able to tell, which maybe with the Twilight series you thought maybe she doesn't love herself anymore, but I do. I love myself a lot, so I'm not going to do the fucking Fantastic Beasts movies. Maybe for money. Maybe. Name a price. We can discuss it. Alright, cool. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the fucking thing. Let's go. Azkabanzy. Bow. We open. It is dark. This one's gonna be dark, y'all. Like, literally and figuratively. This one's dark. Alright, so it's black, and then we see a tiny little glowing light, and it's like pulsing on and off. Is that the right word? Yeah, that is. I'm right. That's the way to describe it. And we see it through a window, and then we see that it's Harry under his little sheet in his little bedroom that he has now. And Mr. Dursley comes in and checks on him, and he just pretends to be asleep. Classic. So it's like a kid with like a flashlight up reading a comic book, up reading your book. A lot of kids, like they were with their flashlights, up reading the little Harry Potters. Those who like to do that, not me. I was reading the Charlie Bone series. Get on my level. I can't believe I haven't talked about that yet. That was the magic book series I was into, was the Charlie Bone series. Somebody talk to me about it. I want to reread those. I remember them being pretty lit, but I could be very wrong. I do that all the time. Alright, so cool. We see that he is learning spells under his sheets, which is bad. He's not supposed to do that in the muggle world. And so then he figures out the spell, and it causes a big light up. And we get the title, Beaming from the Light. And the title is not in gold. It's been in gold in the other two. This one is in like silver, which is a spooky color. I don't know, man. I don't know why it's in silver. I really like color theory things. I don't know. Silver, metallic, maybe cold. Yeah, cold, raw. I think I figured it out. Doesn't that sound good at least? It sounds good at least. It could be not the facts, but it sounds good. Y'all are impressed by my big brain. Okay, cool. So yeah, the title is in silver. Sick. Cool. Then we're back in the house, and the Dursleys. Fuck these names. I hate the Dursleys. Because they're terrible people, and their name is ass. Okay, so the Dursleys are having another family member over. Her name is Aunt Marge, and she's Marge in charge. Marge in charge. I had a character named Marge. She liked drinking margaritas and was really old. It did well one time when I was drunk with my friends. We'll keep going. Okay, so Aunt Marge is over, and she's trash. Surprise. Like, everybody fucking sucks in this family, except for feasibly Harry Potter's parents, who are dead now. What a bummer. Okay, so yeah, Marge starts talking shit about his parents, and so Harry gets upset and is like glaring at her and fucking blows the bitch up. Not like explodes her, but like Violet Beauregard, like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, blows her up. She gets real big. She turns into a balloon, like the balloon Jennifer Hudson as a cat rode in at the end of Cats. Spoiler alert, that's how that movie ends. Also, if you haven't seen Cats, you don't believe me. You don't believe that that's how the movie ends. And you would be very fair to think that that couldn't possibly be how that movie ends. But it is. So anyway, Marge is the hot air balloon that Jennifer Hudson rides at the end of Cats. And Harry packs up his trunk, and Mr. Dursley tries to intimidate him, but Harry pulls out his wand and threatens him, and he bounces the fuck out of that house and just starts walking down the street. I don't know what his plan is. Also, how did he blow up Marge with just his mind? I don't understand when wizards can do magic and when they can't. Like, what's the wand for? Is it for, like, channeling magic? Because the wand also is magic itself, right? So is it like just a pairing of amplification of their magic? It's a tool. The wand is a tool. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't know. But okay, yeah, because we see also, like, in a minute, I'm going to talk about we're in the leaky cauldron, and there was a dude who was, like, stirring his tea with just his, like, finger hovering above the fucking spoon, stirring it, and it's like, you're barely using any less energy than if you would have just put your fucking hand on the spoon and twirled it around. But whatever. Okay. We can't be caught up in this. This episode is going to be an hour and a half. Might be 2.5 hours. The length of the film is me talking about the film. Maybe. You should watch the movie instead of just listening to me talk about it, if that is the case. Whatever. Okay. So yeah, Harry hits the streets with a big-ass trunk and no fucking plan. Yeah, because it's like the 90s. Bitch doesn't have a cell phone. I guess he's magic, so can he just... I don't know. make a cell phone. He has Hedwig. Hedwig can't fly that fast to send a message to one of his friends like, pick me up, kids are drinking. Like, pick me up, my aunt and uncle are abusive. You know, that's awful. That's awful. I'm sorry. That's not something to be joked about. Okay, so trunk, streets, sitting. And it seems to also hit him as it's hitting the audience. Like, what the fuck is he doing? He and his little face goes, what the fuck am I doing? And sitting in this dark little curb in front of a spooky little playground. And yeah, the street light starts to flicker, and it's full Scary 5000, and a big old dog barks at him from across the street, and he pulls out his wand, but then he gets just like pushed back, and I guess it's the dog, or just like a force of magic pushes him back and makes him fall down onto the ground, and then a magic double-decker bus rolls up. And a very British grungy man is standing at the door, and he says, welcome to the night bus. I am so bad at this fucking. Oi! I have to start with oi. If you watch my YouTube channel, you know what's up. Oi! Welcome to the night bus. Emergency transport. I can't do this. What is this? What is this? This Australian standing at the door. God damn it. Emergency transport for the stranded witch or wizard. I'm doing an Australian. What is this? I'm done. So yeah, there's a guy. So yeah, there's a man, and he's like, this is the night bus. It's emergency transport for stranded witches and wizards. So I guess, what? Does the bus just feed on sad vibes? It's like when you put out sad, abandoned vibes, the bus is like, that's someone magic being sad. Let's go get him. You know, how do they know? Also, this is the moment I realized everyone isn't called a wizard. I thought everybody was a wizard that performed magic. But I guess that's not the case, because he said witch or wizard. And I guess maybe they've said that before. They've made the distinction that you could be a witch or a wizard. And I'm confused. Does that mean that wizard is a gendered term? I guess. Someone let me know, because I think that just for some reason doesn't make any sense in my mind. It's like actor. Actor is not gendered, but we make it gendered a lot of the times, like actor or actress, but actor itself isn't a gendered term. But we just like colloquially decided that it is. Colloquially? I got close. If that's not how you say it, I got close. Don't come for me. Or come for me. It's fine. It's your right. It's your right to come for me. Yeah, what? Great. Yeah, be a witch. Everybody should be, and if it's between the two, everybody should be witches. Everybody should want to be a witch. I want to be a witch. Everybody wants to be a witch. Wait, what are warlocks? I thought witches are warlocks. Or is that just Halloween Town? What are wizards? Fuck. School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Oh, fuck. Yeah, this is the name of the fucking school. Why didn't I notice that before? 3 movies in. You know, we all move in our own fucking paces. Can't you tell? Okay, so, yeah. What's up with that? That's dumb. Or are witches different? And it's not gendered. And they're just different. But everybody has witch hats. The sorting hat is a witch hat. What? Alright, well, we are still on the second scene of the movie. I'm sorry. Alright, yeah, someone please break that down for me, if you can. Or I'm going to make you spiral out too, and you're spiraling out right now in your car. Most people listen to this in their cars, I found. I get a lot of screenshots of car radios with my fucking name on them. It's pretty fun. But yeah, let me know. Or you're just sitting, you had to pull over in your car and you're just sitting there also pondering. What is this? Okay, anyway, the bus conductor is named Stan Tranboy, which is like Train Boy, and that was fun too. But okay, yeah, he notices Harry's on the ground and he roasts him for being weird, and Harry like checks to see where the dog was and he sees it's gone, and he gets on the bus, gets on the bus, and there are a lot of people on the bus and they're all sleeping and they're in like full-size beds and there's a chandelier. I don't know. It's just like really big inside. It's kind of like the Spice Girls bus in the movie Spice World. It's a full fucking 2-story apartment inside that bus. And it's bonkers. Oh my god, are the Spice Girls wizards? Is that how they did it? They're also on a double-decker bus. Oh my god, you guys. Do you think that the night bus during the day is the Spice Girls tour bus? Fuck yeah. What a crossover. We gotta let them know. We gotta do it. We gotta tell them that we figured it out. Okay, sorry. Maybe I'll talk about Spice World. I don't know that I can ever talk about that movie. We watched it. I had to buy it on eBay because they discontinued making it and they don't sell it anywhere because they're so ashamed of what they did, because it's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And I had to like bid somebody. I had to fight to get a copy of it on DVD. Whew, Spice World. We are really going off the rails. Okay, so where was I? I was talking about, oh right. So there's a chandelier for no reason. And Harry gets his ticket, and then Stan's like, hey, let's hit it. And we see an old white man, or white person, I do not know their gender, and an old white person named Ern is in the driver's seat with full-on Coke bottle glasses, like the thickest glasses of all time. Very, very amusing to see. And then we get one of the longest stretches of a character of color speaking in the entire film series. And I'm not joking, this is a fact, and it comes by way of a talking shrunken head, which I'm told in the books is called Dreadhead. Oh my god. And yeah, a shrunken head that's hanging from the rearview mirror. And it's not even an actual person of color. It's a disembodied dreadlock head clad with green and yellow beads on the ends of the dreadlocks. Yikes. I looked it up. This is a fact. This is the longest stretch of a person of color speaking in the entire series is this fucking shrunken head. Yeah, so Dylan Marin, he's an actor, writer, director. He was the voice of Carlos on Welcome to Night Vale. You know, if anybody likes Night Vale, it's very fun. He has like a project that he does called Every Single Word, and it's where he documents every word spoken by a minority voice in any given mainstream film that he looks at. And he found out of the 1,207 minutes of the entire film series of Harry Potter, people of color speak for a total of 5 minutes and 40 seconds, which is 0.47% of the film. And of all the characters, there are 12 that are visibly people of color, played by 13 actors. Wow, we had one person change. 2 of those characters are CGI. So on average, every character of color speaks for 28.3 seconds. God damn! I didn't think it was that bad. Right? It is that bad. It doesn't make any sense either, right? Because it's like about a school where kids come from all over the place and they're dealing with like universal human issues, even though they are like magical or whatever. But I can't. Is magic exclusive to white people? It's not, because like Hermione is born of like non-magical people, so we know that it doesn't have to do with like only white people have survived to make more magical white children. It's like anyone can be magical. And we know that it's not like a communication issue, right? It's like, well, in more rural places or places that don't have like established postal system. It's like, no, fucking Harry Potter was on an island in the middle of fucking nowhere and they were still sending him letters about going to Hogwarts. So, no. Why? Well, I know why. We know why. It's just racism. It's gorgeous. Okay, so now that we've satisfied our quota for diversity in the film, God, we're on the night bus, and there's a wild, comical ride through the streets, and it's pretty. It is fun. It's fun to watch. I'm sure it'd be really fun in 3D. I bet this was a bomb ass moment in 3D. Yeah, we get dropped off at the Leaky Cauldron. Also, while we're on the bus, Stan is reading a newspaper. Stan, the train man, is reading a newspaper, and Harry learns about Sirius Black, who is a murderer who escaped Azkaban, and no one knows how he did it because it's just the toughest jail ever to escape. And he's said to have been a big supporter of you know who. It's Voldemort. Voldemort? Yeah. And Harry's fucking honestly very chill about finding out that this murderer is escaped and on the streets. Because, like, honestly, that makes sense, dude. You've literally died in the last movie, so. Yeah, I wouldn't be. I'd be like, what the fuck ever, dude. A skyscraper-sized fucking snake murdered me in the last year of school, so yeah, fuck it. A murderer escaped from a prison. Who gives a shit? Alright, cool. So he gets the Leaky Cauldron, and an Igor-looking dude shows up and brings Harry into a meeting with the Minister of Magic, whose name is Cornelius Fudge. LOL, what a name. I don't know why that's funny, but it is funny. And and Cornelius tells him it's illegal to perform magic outside of Hogwarts, which apparently everybody knew that, but he did it anyway. And Igor does a bit of prop comedy here while he is speaking. It's a real dream. And then Harry doesn't understand. Oh, but then he gets pardoned. Yeah, Cornelius is like, but it's fine, you're fine. And Harry's like, why am I pardoned? And I'm like, same, why is he pardoned? And Fudge just like blows it off and says that the real concern is him running away while it's so dangerous out in these streets, since apparently Sirius is fucking looking for Harry specifically. And we're like, huh, why? But we don't get that. And then then he's shown to his room, and he meets up with Ron and Hermione, who also are there. Because they're always there. They're just always there. You know, that's just how it is. You know, when you run away from home, and then a magic bus picks you up, and a racist caricature speaks at you for comedy, and then you get dropped off and your best friends are there? Relatable. Great. Alright, the next day, the three head back to Hogwarts. And they're on the train. We get the train back, because the train is cool. I'm going to have to stop you right there, Steve. I love trains. It's a reference to a weird NPR bit that happened. I recommend looking it up. Look up Trains and Steve, NPR. It was a very fun interview. Okay, so yeah, they're on the train and they're heading back and they're in their compartment discussing Sirius when the train suddenly stops. And we also see a person is in the corner of their cabin because it's a 4-person cabin. So, they can have more than just the 3 of them, and they're covered up by a jacket, and it's casual that they haven't really addressed or been, courteous to not be speaking, full volume with each other while a person's sleeping, but whatever. And then everything gets really fucking blue. Alright? Which is cold. And then we also see that it's visibly cold. A glass turns to ice and stuff like that. Like water in a glass, not just a glass. You got it. Yeah, and the lights go out, and then this spooky trash bag comes to the compartment, and it opens the door and starts to pull Harry's face off until the stranger wakes up, and a bright light lights the trash bag away. And we hear a woman scream, and Harry passes out. Nobody can tell me any of that was wrong. That's right. What I just described is what happens. And then he wakes up, and the stranger gives him some chocolate, which is so nice. And then he tells him that the scary trash bag was a Dementor, which is a guard from Azkaban, and they're looking for Sirius. Yep. Then Harry says he heard someone screaming, but everybody's like, nah, dude. No one was screaming. And then he looks all emotionally out the window. Also, Hermione now has a really cute, shaggy, squish-faced cat, and I like it. Nice. All right. Then we roll up to Hogwarts. Literally, we're on carriages rolling up to Hogwarts in the rain. And it is a very beautiful transition. We hear a choir singing a bop and a half, and they're holding big-ass toads. For some reason, I guess they're doing the bass notes, but also one of the toads is definitely off and is still toading it up by the end of the song, but I kind of like it. It's fun. All right, and Dumbledore gives a speech announcing that R.J. Lupin is the new Defense Against the Dark Arts professor, and it's Homeboy that saved them from the Dementor on the train, so that's cool. Then bitch-ass Malfoy makes fun of Harry for fainting, which is fucked up. God, Malfoy really, escalated in shittiness very quickly. Ugh. Alright, then Dumbledore announces that the Care of Magical Creatures teacher has retired, which I didn't know that was a thing. Did we have that class before? I don't remember it happening, but whatever. And Hagrid is taking over, which we love that for him. Finally, he lets them know that Dementors will be guarding the school until Sirius is captured, and that they can't distinguish between who they're hunting and who's just in their way. And that's bad. That's bad. That's bad. What? What are they? What are they? How were they created? Were they created? Or are they just weird, scary, spooky, magical creatures? Or do they come they look like in the Disney movie Hercules, the souls in the river or whatever in Hades. Right? What? I don't understand what Dementors are. And maybe they explained it and I just didn't listen, which is extremely possible. But I don't understand what they are. I don't like them. I don't think, well, yeah, who should? You shouldn't. Okay, whatever. So the Dementors are just there. And then Dumbledore does some close-up magic about happiness, being able to find it if one simply remembers to turn on the light. And he makes a candle go out and then it comes on again. And it's foreshadowing. Wow. Also, this is a different actor for Dumbledore because the other guy died. And that's sad. R.I.P. Honestly, R.I.P. Okay, then we head back to the dorms. And the lady in the painting for the Gryffindor common room or whatever is singing, and she's trying to shatter a glass with her voice, and when she can't, she just breaks it against the wall, and it ain't over till the fat lady sings. This is comedy. They're attempting comedy in this one. Was it the right choice to try to attempt comedy? It's a no from me, but like, they're trying new things, and I do appreciate that. So, okay, so next morning we see a sweet little interlude of a bluebird flying around campus, and it's chirping it up, and it flies by the Whomping Willow, and it gets full murdered by it. Again, comedy. It's dark. Then we're in divinations class. Is that how you say it? I know you can't answer me right now. Well, you could. You could just like text me or slide in my DMs when you're listening to this, which is also something people do. Like Sean. Hey, Sean. He sent me, I don't know, like 20 messages actively while he was listening to last week's episode. So I appreciate it. I do enjoy that. The conversation is happening for you in real time while you listen to this, but it's not happening for me in real time. But I like it. It's fun. Okay, so yeah, divinations class. Led by the incomparable Emma Thompson. We stan. We were here for Men in Black series, which was right before this. And she's Professor Trelawney. And her hair looks like mine. And she dresses like my hippie aunt who has a Subaru. And that's goals. Okay, and they're going to read each other's tea leaves. And Hermione shows up at Ron and Harry's table out of nowhere. Suspicious. Highly sus. I haven't played Among Us yet, but sus. And she just calls it rubbish, which is wild, because they do fucking magic. And this is the part. This is where she draws the line. Tea leaves. Not singing choir frogs. Or scary trash bags. Okay, Hermione. Okay. Then Professor Trelawney asks Neville if his grandmother's in good health, and he's like, yeah. And then she looks at his cup and frowns, is like, fuck, because he lives with his grandmas. Sad. Yikes. Yeah, they're trying for comedy in this one. Okay, then she goes to Harry and Ron, and she looks at Harry's cup and yells and says, it's the Grim. And then we have another person of color, a little black boy that we have literally never seen before and does not have a name, reads out loud, and we only see him for a second. We just hear his voice mainly. He reads out loud. The Grim takes form as a giant spectral dog and is one of the darkest omens in the world and is an omen of death. Nice. So Hermione says it's no big deal, and that ancient runes, those are more interesting. And Ron is like, wait. How many classes are you taking? She's like, a few. But then he's like, yo, it's not possible. Ancient runes is at the same time as divination, so, you can't be in both. And she's like, don't be silly. But so I bet that matters. That conversation that was fucking riveting. I bet it matters, you guys. Alright, cool. Thankfully, next we have Care of Magical Creatures class. And it's Hagrid. Oh, bless Hagrid. Hagrid is my favorite. And he brings class to meet a hippogriff that he has named Buckbeak, which is everything good in the whole world. Is the name Buckbeak. It's so cute. And a hippogriff is like a bird horse. Am I missing an animal? Feels like I might be. Is it also a lion? I don't know. Feels like it's probably a lion too, right? Everything's also a lion when it comes to magical creatures. It's got a little lion in it too. Why not? Okay, and Harry's the first up to meet it. and you have to bow to it. And if it bows back, you're allowed to go up to it, which is also how I want to live my life. You're not allowed to come up to me unless you bow first. And if I bow back at you, you can come talk to me. But if I do not, you have to go away. Yeah. Okay. So Harry gets to go pet it because respect. And while they're watching, Hermione gets scared and holds hands with Ron. Ooh. Oh. And then Hagrid puts Harry on Buckbeak's back and lets him take him for a ride. And it's really beautiful. This is probably the most beautiful scene visually. Like, the cinematography is astonishing. Like, I could watch them just, like, fly around wherever the fuck Hogwarts is. Yeah. That'd be cool. Okay, so when he gets back, Draco Malfoy is like, fuck that. Yeah, Harry can do it. Fuck you guys. I can do it too. And deliberately provokes Buckbeak, and Buckbeak fucking attacks him, because that's how it be in these streets. And Draco's a big old bitch on the ground, and he's like, it killed me. And Hagrid takes him to the infirmary. And yeah, and he's all like, you're gonna fucking pay for this, fucking hippogriff. It's bullshit. Okay, yeah. Alright, next up is Defense Against the Dark Arts class. These are full days. How long do they get to go between classes? In our school, it was like 3 minutes. But this campus is like fucking 9 miles long, and the stairs move. Shit. This doesn't matter. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Defense Against the Dark Arts. Lupin has a boggart. I don't remember how to say this. Because it's spelled like Bogart. Like the concert venue in Cincinnati. Which existed first? I think actually the concert venue in Cincinnati probably existed first. Unless you based it on a real folklore thing. It's Bogart. But that also could be Boggart, and we all just call it Bogart. This is relevant to a few people. And you're welcome. Anyway, Boggart. It's a creature that takes the shape of whatever the person looking at it fears the most. But you can just say ridiculous, which I know you're supposed to go, ridiculous. That's so funny. I need that audio clip of all these children screaming, ridiculous! Ooh, I should get a soundboard. That's good. And then you laugh at it and it defeats it. Yo, this is like an after-school special, dude. It's like a bully. Bully runs up on you. You just got like fucking make fun of them. Not give them any power, and you win. Alright, Neville's first up, and Snape frightens him most, so it changes into the form of Snape. And then he casts Ridiculous, and makes Snape wear his grandmother's clothes, and everybody laughs, because comedy. And then Ron, it turns into a big old spider, and he puts roller skates on it, and it's comedy. That would not be funny to me. That would be horrifying. That's worse. A spider on roller skates? It can get to me even faster. No, sir. Okay, and then we get a snake, and that turns into a very fucking terrifying clown toy. Homegirl that casts ridiculous... I'm not afraid of clowns, but I was frightened of that thing. But then, of course, it's Harry, and it turns into a Dementor. But Lupin jumps in front of it and turns it into the moon, and he makes it into a balloon. So, this should tip us off. Something's up. Not the fact that his name is Lupin, which is established to mean fucking werewolf. If you've ever watched Underworld, I talked about this in the Twilight series. Lupin. Okay, cool. Next up, Ron and Hermione go to Hogsmeade while Harry has to stay behind because he's not allowed to go. And then Lupin and Harry have a discussion on the random bridge in Hogwarts. Just this long-ass bridge for some reason. What is the reason? That they have this long-ass bridge. It's so long. Because it's cool, that's why. That's fair, actually. Okay. So yeah, they have a discussion about the night that they were on the train and how he heard screaming. And Lupin is like, yo, Dementors make you relive the worst moments of your life. And Harry's like, oh, this is my mom screaming when she died. Fuck. Then Lupin lets him know that he knew his mother really well. And she was a wonderful woman. And that his dad was a troublemaker. And that Harry is a lot like them. And that's nice. Then we're back in the hall with Ron and Hermione, and they're going over their loot they got in the Hogsmeade. And Ron gets him a sneaker scope, which lights up and spins if anyone untrustworthy is around. Wow. And then they find out that the fat lady portrait... God, I can't believe they just call it the fat lady portrait. It's so fucked. Because she's not even that thick, y'all. Not even that thick. Should call it the not even that thick lady portrait. So dumb. God. Someone pull me away. Someone take me out of this. I am not allowed. Alright. Yeah, so the portrait that guards the Gryffindor room has been found ruined and empty. And then they find her hiding in another painting. Which, someone explain that to me. What the fuck? How did she move paintings? It's bonkers. I can't even begin to fathom how that works. How someone in a painting that's a moving painting can move into another painting. I can't. My brain literally is shutting down. It can't compute. I gotta stop. Okay, yeah, so she's found in another painting. And she's scared. And she says that Sirius has entered the castle. Fuck. Cool. And then we're in Defense Against the Dark Arts. Lupin is out. And Snape is subbing in. And he's like, turn to page 394. And it's the greatest line delivery of the entire series. And we've only watched 3, but I know that that is true. And then 394 is... about werewolves. Highly, highly suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Alright, then it's Quidditch, and it's real stormy, because it is stormy all the time now, because this is the 3rd movie, and it's dramatic, so storms. I'm into it, honestly. And it's messy. And then Dementors fucking attack Harry and make him fall off his broomstick, which lands in the Whomping Willow, where it is destroyed. And after he's in the infirmary, Harry talks to Lupin about being afraid of the Dementors. And they walk in this lovely fucking vista. Where the fuck is Hogwarts? Is it in a real place, or do they, like, magically create the environment around it? I don't know. Okay. Lupin says he'll train him after the holidays. And then it's the holidays. It's snowy, and that's why we know. It's the holidays. And kids are going to Hogsmeade, and Harry wants to go. So he puts on his little invisibility cloak. But of course, Fred and George catch him, because there's white footprints and no body in the snow. And they give him the Marauders map to sneak around, which is this, like, magical map that tells you where everybody is. And where there are secret passageways. Convenient. Then we see Ron and Hermione looking at the shrinking shack out there. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't remember what the fuck happens. Why they're looking at this thing. I think it's something to do with Sirius and shit. Yeah. So they're out looking at the shrinking shack, and Malfoy shows up with his boys, and threaten them, but then they get their asses full on kicked by an invisible force, which of course is Harry. And while Harry's in Hogsmeade, all invisible, he's shocked to learn that not only had Sirius been his father's best friend and apparently betrayed them for Voldemort, but Sirius is also his godfather. And he's just wrecked on it, dude. It's just fair. It's very dramatic. It's very intense. Huh. And then Lupin decides he's going to privately teach Harry how to defend himself against Dementors using the Patronus charm, which was that big lighty-uppy thing in the train he used. And yeah, only very powerful wizards are able to use it. So, see if he's got the stuff, alright? They also discuss Sirius and Peter Pettigrew, who created the Marauders map, which Harry says he saw a Peter on it, but he assumed it was just messing up. But Lupin is like suspicious because he knows Peter is dead or whatever. But then Lupin's like, but you saw it on the map now? So we're like, what does that mean? And they're like, wait half an hour and we will tell you, because that's the way this movie works. All right. Then we're back in divinations class, and Trelawney roasts Hermione, just fucking flames her up, obliterates her. She says that though she is young in age, her heart is as shriveled as an old maid's, and her soul is as dry as the pages of the books she so desperately cleaves. Fuck! Dude! That is a scorching burn. And I'd like a t-shirt with that sentence on it. It's really good. So yeah, Hermione gets up and throws her little crystal ball on the ground and is upset. And when Harry and Ron are walking away, Harry sees the ball on the ground and he's like, I'll take it back to the class. And when he takes it back to the class and puts it down, he sees a man in the ball, and Trelawney foretells that he will return tonight. The man who betrayed his friends and murdered will return, and servants and monsters will be reunited once more. But then it's immediately undercut with her coughing as a joke. Boo! Yeah, they don't... Comedy's not the forte in this one. I think they should have let it go, but I understand also with how dark and heavy this one is that they were trying to, still keep it a little afloat with, some laughs, but, these are not tactful. They're not tactful laughs. There's not... I don't like it. Okay. But I do obviously it's my favorite one. I do really love this film. I know I'm, ragging on it. But no, it's beautiful and I love it and I'll watch it 17 more times during the next couple weeks. Yeah, it's a great holiday film for me. But okay. Then Harry, Ron, and Hermione go to see Hagrid, and he tells them that they're going to execute Buckbeak because of Malfoy. And they're upset, but there's nothing they can do, and so they have to leave and hide, and they witness Buckbeak's murder, or this execution. And Ron's pet Scabbers bites him and runs away, and so Ron tries to chase Scabbers, but a big-ass dog appears and drags both Ron and Scabbers into a hole at the base of the fucking Whomping Willow. And this leads to the trio going into an underground passage that leads them to the Shrieking Shack all of a sudden, because magic. And they discover that the dog is actually Sirius. Ooh. And he's an animagus, which we learned about in Defenses Against the Dark Arts Day 394. About werewolves, and the difference between animagus is that they choose to change into an animal. Werewolves don't have a choice. Okay, cool. Sorry. Then Lupin arrives and embraces Sirius because they're pals. And the trio's like, fucking what is going on? Our brains are not fully developed. We have been fed one very specific narrative, and this is not computing with it. So then Lupin is like, yo, I am a werewolf, and Sirius is innocent, which is a lot of information for you all to process, and they do not process it well. And they're like, the real villain is Peter Pettigrew, and he's in the room right now. And Sirius wilds out and is like, Peter, come out, Peter. Yeah, and as he calls for him to come out, Snape shows up all of a sudden and disarms Sirius, and he was like, bitch, I told Dumbledore that Lupin was helping out an old friend, but he didn't believe me. But I bet he did. Dumbledore is very smart and knows everything that's going on. And Snape is about to take him away when Harry disarms Snape and throws him into, like, a bed thing that collapses around him. It's very odd. Then it's revealed that Scabbers is actually Peter Pettigrew. And he's also an animagus who betrayed the Potters and committed the murder. Oh, God. That's so terrible. Then Lupin and Sirius went to kill him, but Harry is like, no. We should just give him to the Dementors. Which is worse. And Sirius then helps carry Ron back out of the hole, because Ron's leg is fucked up from being dragged by a large dog. Then Harry and Sirius have like a nice little chat, like 15 feet away from the others, about how Harry is like noble, and about Sirius being his godfather, and that, you know, maybe when all this is sorted out and Sirius takes a fucking shower or something, that they can like live together. And I'm like, Sirius, do you have like a home? You've been in jail. What? But I guess these are not the details we have to figure out in this moment. It's just, you know, it's just a nice little wholesome moment of love, and that's really sweet. But then we see that the moon is full, and Lupin transforms because he forgot to take his non-werewolf potion, which apparently there is. And so, yeah, he turns into a werewolf, and then Peter turns back into a rat, and Snape shows back up, but it's Sirius in his dog form that fights Lupin and gets him away from the kids. But, of course, Harry goes after them. And just as Lupin is about to attack, there's this howling that makes him run away. And Harry's with Sirius, and the Dementors show up and attack them. But a figure appears in the distance and casts a Patronus spell of a deer, and it saves them. Wow. And then Harry wakes up in the infirmary, and Hermione is like, yo, I'm glad you're alive, but everything's still terrible, and Sirius has been captured, and the Dementor is about to perform a kiss on him, and he's like, oh no, they're gonna kill him? And she's like, nah, it's worse, they're gonna suck out his soul. Fuck! They're gonna suck out his soul! So I guess we have souls. And this also, I don't really know what your soul does. In this, I don't know. We haven't established what really souls are, but okay. And Dumbledore shows up and is a little too giddy and tells the kids that he believes them. You know, they're like, yo, he's not a villain. He's like, yeah, that's nice, but, you know, nobody gives a shit what kids think. So, oh well. So sad. But then he says where Sirius is. He's like, oh, he's over in this tower, though. And Hermione, you know the rules. I think 3 turns should do it. And Ron and Harry and me are confused. And then Hermione pulls out this necklace with the longest chain of all time. Pulls it out. And apparently it's a time turner, which can make you go back in time if the chain's around your neck, which is why the chain is so long, so that it can go around Harry's neck too, and they go back in time. And the first thing they do is they say Buckbeak from execution by sneaking him off into the woods with some ferrets. And then they wait, and Harry tells Hermione what happened to him and Sirius, and that he thinks it was his dad that cast the Patronus spell, even though that makes literally no sense at all. But honestly, I can't say that. Because that doesn't matter in this world. If it doesn't make sense, it can. It does, and it can make sense. So, maybe. Why not? And then we see Lupin transform, and Hermione is the one who howls to distract him. But then Lupin's chasing them. And Buckbeak protects them from Lupin. So that's good. And then they see the Dementors coming, and they witness the Dementors overpower Harry and Sirius. And present Harry realizes that it was actually himself who conjured the Patronus. And he does it again. And then Harry and Hermione go to the tower and rescue Sirius. And Sirius escapes on Buckbeak. And now that Lupin has been exposed as a werewolf, he has to resign from teaching to prevent an uproar from the parents, but also, who gives a shit? Fucking McGonagall's a cat all the time. And he can just take his potion and not be a werewolf, so it's I don't know. It seems all right. Whatever. I don't know. But, okay, yeah. And before he leaves, Lupin returns the Marauder's map to Harry. And he's like, because I'm not an authority figure, so I can't really confiscate contraband anymore. Whatever. And then Sirius sends Harry a firebolt broom. And Harry takes it for a ride. And that's the end of the movie. Woo! Alright, so Rotten Tomatoes, 90%. Good. Letterboxd, 4 stars out of 5. The highest we've had. So yeah, phenomenal reviews. It's really good. It is a really good film. There's just a lot of logical stuff that doesn't make sense. And that's not, I guess, the film's fault. Right? That's the writing. And also, this was the longest book to this point. Yeah, the third one's longer than the first two. So, yeah, it's just getting harder and harder. I think every book gets longer. So, it's just getting more and more difficult to adapt each book because there's more content in each one. So, it does make sense. Fine. Actually, more than fine. It's totally cool. I'm down. I want a limited series. Yeah, HBO. Make this one into a limited series. And let's talk about Sirius and his backstory. Let's get all of that. Let's do it. Fuck Fantastic Beasts. Absolutely fuck it. Except for the beasts are cool. I like the animals in it. No, they're cool. Alright, let's talk about the director for a moment. It's Alfonso Cuarón, and I have seen all but one of his films. So that also might be why I love this as much. But this was definitely the first one I think I saw. I hope. What would I have been? 12? I would have been 12. Yeah. There's no way I saw it. Wait. Yeah. I didn't see Y Tu Mamá También until after. It did come out before. But I don't think I saw it before I saw Harry Potter. I did see it when I was pretty young, though. Because we had no rules. Yay, no rules! And, okay. So, yeah, the ones I've seen A Little Princess, Great Expectations, Y Tu Mamá También, Azkaban, Children of Men, and Roma. I haven't seen Gravity because I do not care. I don't care. I love Alfonso, but, not enough to care about George Clooney and... Who's in that? Who is it? Is it Sandra Bullock? Is it Sandra Bullock? Is it Julia Roberts? I don't know. The other person in Gravity. No thanks. But yeah. So if you've seen this film, you're gonna understand a lot of what I'm about to say. So he's known for his use of really long takes. Children of Men, what is that, 7? I think it's only 7 takes in that film. And it's wild. It's amazing. I remember that being the first time I ever really noticed like the length of a take was when I was watching Children of Men, because there's one scene in particular where there's blood that gets like on the camera, and you see it on the screen, like on the lens, for a really long time. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. But yeah, I remember seeing that in middle school and being wilded out by the beauty and wildness of camera work. And yeah, and he really, 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 really likes moving cameras fucking around, which is dope in this magical world. Yeah, it's awesome. Like, he's able to tap into this, like, yeah, the magical realism and shit. So it did make a lot of sense for him to fucking work on a Harry Potter. I'm sad he didn't do any more of them, but it is what it is. But yeah, so good. He's so good at tapping into feelings. It's gorgeous. And he obviously got a lot out of the actors. Like, this is the best acting that I think they do in the whole series. And they were kids. They were teens at this point. They were really young. But it's like the first time they were really like emoting well and understanding, because there's only so much, like, and you don't expect that much also as kids. Shouldn't be that intense anyway, before this. But yeah. Oh, so good. Whew. But yeah. This is also, they moved to an 18-month cycle with this filming. So, to give it more time. Chris Columbus, the director of the first two, he didn't return for this one, obviously. Yeah. Because he said he hadn't seen his own kids for supper in 2.5 years. God, that's sad. Yikes. But he did still remain a producer, and he helped, like, Alfonso with the transition and, like, guided him a lot and gave him a bunch of advice, and that's really dope. Apparently, the other directors that they went to first before Alfonso Cuarón was Guillermo del Toro, amazing, but he wanted it scarier. He said that the first two films were too bright and happy and full of light, which, I mean, yeah, I guess. In comparison to this one, yeah. But still, shit. Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan also was on the list, but he turned it down to make The Village, which I'm cool with. The Village is really fucking good. Yeah. Yeah. Man. Woo. Cool. That's just my little bit about Cuarón. I just wanted to talk about it. I really love him. So if you haven't seen any of his other films, definitely check him out. I know a lot of people got to see Roma because it was so accessible being on Netflix. Like, it was a Netflix film. And that was a lot of people's first introduction to Alfonso. And I highly recommend looking at his back catalog. Look at the rest of the things he's made. They are all so fucking good. They were really beautiful and amazing. And super interesting. Love it. Love them. All right, cool. Oh yeah, this is also the last movie that John Williams does. I was right. It's John Williams as the music. And this one slaps even harder than the first two. That double Toil and Trouble song or whatever with the frogs, nobody can fucking tell me that isn't a fucking bop. Not a goddamn person. Not a person. It's good. Yeah, the lyrics are from Macbeth. For all the fucking English stands out there. All them people being like, I know these words. That's why. They famous. Alright, sorry. But okay, yeah. Do I relate to this film? I relate to being used as comedy in situations like that shrunken head. I relate to the lack of diversity, I guess, being in my life as well. It's fucked up. This one, yeah, made me think about it even more just because it was, like, so glaring. And that's so disappointing because it is. This is my favorite one to, like, it's so lovely and interesting, this film, and it is so disheartening that it is not made for me and I am not supposed to see myself in it. And that sucks. Which is the point of this podcast, right? It sucks that I don't belong. But hey, maybe we're going to get better. Let's see. I'm holding out hope. I'm not. I know the statistics. I went over the statistics of the series. It's not going to get better. It's going to get better in real life. In real life, it's already gotten better. We have a lot more giant, beautiful films with people who look like all kinds of people in the fucking world. And that's awesome. Telling all these different stories. But yeah, in a fantasy fucking film, if we can't have... Oh my gosh, what a mess. Sick. Alright, cool. So, no, fuck this. But I love it. It's hard. Okay. That's it. This one's definitely long. I can tell. This one's definitely long. Or maybe I'm wrong. I've lost all concept of time when I've been doing these. I thought the last two were like over an hour, and they were both under an hour, so maybe I'm wrong again. I don't think I am. But y'all will see the number. I can't right now. I could just look, but I don't want to. Let's just stay in the dark. But that was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Oh, man. Number 3. We're 3 down. 5 to go. All right. I've been your friendly neighborhood oh, my God. I said frat friend. I'm your friendly neighborhood fat friend, Allie. And, I'd murder a bird with a tree any day for you. Why is that what I came up with? But I would, I guess. Any day for you. For your love. Alright. Bye.